Hello, and welcome back to whatever I'm calling this. Hug's take on, history or whatever. Today I'm a bit quiet because it's 1 o'clock in the morning. But today we're going to talk about missing nuclear weapons. These aren't taken from, for example, the fall of the USSR. These are in Cold War wartime losses, so accidents. We're going to start with we'll start with these are both American ones because I haven't been able to find. There was a Russian nuclear submarine, but may have clashed with a US ship and sunk with nuclear weapons on. However, I haven't been able to find it, so I can't give you that. But the US ones are quite open, although some of them are still top secret, obviously. Now, so it was 50 years ago in 2009, so 55 years ago in America, a 3.5 kilogram nuclear bomb was dropped into US waters following a military collision. And this is a BBC article, and it questioned whether the missing weapon still poses a threat. The 87-year-old Colonel Howard Richardson, who at the time was 87, is a hero responsible for one of the most extraordinary displays of aeronautical skill in the history of the US Air Force. Now, he was on a training mission at midnight on the 5th of February 1958. He was doing a secret flight for the US Strategic Air Command. It was the height of the Cold War, obviously, at 58. His B-47 bomber was ordered to fly from Holmesville Air Force Base in Florida to any one of the targets the US had identified in Russia. This is a training mission for long endurance missions. It was meant to be as realistic as possible, so had a single hydrogen bomb, which could have been instructed to drop to start World War III. He cruised at a height of 38,000 feet over North Carolina and Georgia. The plane was hit by another military aircraft, creating a large hole in the wing and knocking the engine almost off its mount. He was said, all of a sudden we felt a heavy jolt and a burst of flame out to the right. His crew didn't initially know what it was. They thought it might be something from space, but soon realised it could only be another plane. He thought his time was up because his bomber started plummeting towards the earth and he struggled with the flight deck to get any kind of response. He said that he had ejection seats, but not to hit them just yet because he was going to try and see if he could fly it. As he got up to 20,000 feet, he somehow got the damaged aircraft under control and levelled out. He and his co-pilot then made a fateful decision which probably saved both their lives and lives of countless others on the ground. The decision was to ditch the nuclear payload as soon as possible, more than colliding the aircraft for any emergency landing, and also to eliminate danger of an enormous explosion when they made their unscheduled arrival at the nearest available runway. The Shriek Air Command gave them the authority to get rid of the bomb for the safety of the crew, which was the #1 priority at the time. He managed to direct the B-47 a mile or two off the coast of and opening the bomb doors, dropping the bomb somewhere into the shallow waters and light sun near Tebay Island. Tebay? Yep. He then managed a perfectly executed descent from which he and his crew walked away unscratched. The pilot of the F-86 fighter jet also survived after his jet seat shot him clear of his aircraft. So, just immediately after the crash, a set was set up to find an exploded nuclear weapon buried somewhere too close for comfort for the US second largest eastern seaport, one of the most beautiful cities. Numerous searches have followed, both official and unofficial, and each of them has been unsuccessful, so the bomb remains tucked away on the seabed in an area which is frequently dredged by shrimping fishermen. Anyone of which could, pick it up. How dangerous the bomb is after all these years is a matter of hot debate. The US Air Force insists it's safest to leave it where it is. Colonel Richmond is adamant that it is incapable of a nuclear explosion because it lacks the vital plutonium trigger. Practice mission. It was a practice mission, and therefore it didn't have the detonator, which means that the worst it can, there's two things it can do. It can leak radioactive material into water, which is very bad, or it could be taken by terrorists and turned into a bomb that way.
Okay, how much money do you have?
Now, he said that they practiced with bombs because they needed to be perfect. They want to be perfect. Now, he is being rigorously contested by opponents who raise apocalyptic fears of a thermonuclear explosion could destroy much of the eastern seaboard of the USA. Fears have also been expressed that the bomb could be located and covered by a terrorist group, and there are even some who believe that may already have happened. This section is complete rubbish. The thermonuclear explosion can't happen for two. It's a hydrogen bomb, which technically can't go thermonuclear. It's hydrogen rather than the ones we have now. So a fairly basic nuclear weapon. The other one, it does not have a trigger. Now, some people are not particularly bright and believe that nuclear bombs can be started with, a matchstick, cartoony style. No, it's a very complicated thing, and you have to fire neutrons into the bomb to cause a runaway reaction, very similar to a nuclear reactor, but this one you let go well out of control, whereas a nuclear reactor you keep very controlled using control rods. Now a nuclear bomb, you don't want that, you want it to explode. That's a good thing for the bomb. Otherwise it would just, heat up and you could, boil a kettle. Which isn't a way to destroy enemies. The other one, locating and recovered by a terrorist group, yes, that is very true. However, the US Army, the US Navy, the Air Force, and countless other very rich, I suspect, searchers with very, very good technology haven't been able to find it. Terrorist groups aren't generally as well equipped, and if the US Navy couldn't find it, it's very likely that a terrorist group could. Even if they did, it's not sure what sort of state it would be in. It may be unusable. Now Now, the radioactive material is always going to be usable for several thousand years, millions in some cases, depending on what they're using. Now, Colonel Richardson says this event has not shaped his life and not ended quite the way he thought it would. He said he's been living with it for 51 years, reacting at instinct and landed the aircraft safely. I didn't get a distinguished flying cross from a general for that. Thought that would be the story, not about the story. Everything's about the nuclear war weapon. Now, he has a point. He does have a point there. He does very much have a point. Now, right. The next one is one that's slightly more worrying. This one is 66, March 66, early March 66. Now, it talks about news report, but that's not particularly important for what we're talking about. Now, here it says, here we go. The aircraft would have been surprising if it had not been for the hydrogen bomb lying on the ocean floor only a few kilometres away. Bomb with more than 1,000 times the explosive force of one that flattened Hiroshima. Now, this is talking about how the press are being following an American ambassador and a duke swimming in the Mediterranean Sea. Now, only a few weeks earlier, on January 17th, 1966, the worst nuclear weapons incident of the entire Cold War had taken place off Spain's southern eastern coast. During an aerial tanking manoeuvre, an American B-52 and a KC-135 tanking aircraft colliding in mid-air at 9,000 metres, or 29,000 feet. Both planes exploded in a giant fireball over Palomares. There were 4 hydrogen bombs in the hold of the B-52. One landed unharmed tomato fields near the village. The non-nuclear fuse detonated in two others, causing bomb fragments and plutonium dust to rain down on the impact site. 4th bomb fell into the water somewhere off the coast, burying itself in several metres of silt, where exactly did it fall. In weeks after the accident, the village looked like the set for a film about the apocalypse. On land, men were wearing white protective suits and blue face masks. Used Geiger counters to scan the area for radiation. Hills were sealed off, and the entire high risk of tomato beans rotting on the vines. The US government had the fields dug up and 1,400 tons of earth removed. Donated soil was then shipped to the United States for disposal. Dozens of American warships patrolled the coastline to seal off the area where a fisherman seeing a bomb landing in the water. It took 81 days to recover the nuclear weapon from a depth of 800 metres. Expressing its shock over the events in Spain, German daily Hamburg newspaper wrote, more than any sandbox scenario, bomb makes it clear what it means today to be living with the bomb. Greenland's now that is one thing, so obviously they ended up finding the nuclear weapons there. Now there is one here we go, yes. So this is about Greenland's stray atomic bomb. lost an American atomic bomb in 1968. An American B-52 bomber crashed to the ice of Greenland. When explosives in the bomb exploded, causing a large earthquake and radioactively contaminated plutonium that was released in the process. What the US government kept secret for decades was that a reconstruction of the bomb component found at the site that had revealed that a nuclear warhead was missing. It had apparently drilled its way through the ice in North Scar Bay. It was never found. The loss of an atomic bomb is not as rare as an occurrence as one would hope. American Defense Department confirmed the loss of 11 atomic bombs. An expert on nuclear armament and director of Berlin Information Center believed that up to 50 nuclear warheads weapons worldwide were lost during the Cold War. Most of these highly dangerous and skill-lying on the ocean floor. In April 1988, a fire on board the Kosmolia resulting in the sinking of a Russian nuclear submarine to the depth of 1,700 meters in the North Atlantic Ocean. So there were 2 torpedoes and a nuclear warhead. On May 22nd, 1968, another nuclear submarine, the USS Scorpion, sank to a depth of 2,300 meters, about 320 nautical miles south of the Azores. There were 2 nuclear warheads on board. Because of the depths involved, neither the weaponry nor the nuclear reactors on both submarines have been recovered to date. Now, this sort of thing, it sort of says, so 50 nuclear weapons is a lot. Roughly, well, 50 nuclear weapons is considered enough, well, more than enough to cause a large nuclear winter which would end life on Earth. Now, for you that don't know, a nuclear winter is very similar to the way that Yellowstone National Park, the volcano there, would kill us. Several, probably millions of people dying in the initial explosion. However, most wouldn't, which is a shame, because that's the nice way to go. Being exploded and hit by rocks is a nice way to go, compared to the starvation, war, murder, robbing, and other stuff posed by a volcanic winter. Now, a nuclear winter is very similar, apart from the ashes and from the top of a volcano. It's caused by the explosion of a nuclear weapon, so it's radioactive, which isn't good. But it will cover the Earth like a massive cloud, very similar to the Icelandic volcano, but stop air traffic. But no light will come through, it will be completely black. Therefore there'll be no plants, which means the animals will die out, and eventually we will also die. Some may survive in bunkers with UV lights, which could continue to grow food. However, it is unlikely, and the time you have to spend on the ground before it was safe to go out would be possibly millions of years, certainly thousands of years. So yeah, it's not good. Now, here is a thing about Broken Arrow. A much larger number of atomic bombs disappeared in plane crashes over the open ocean in the early days of the Cold War. Now, this is because the aircraft lacked sufficient range to cross the Atlantic on one tank of fuel, explains a nuclear expert. Some bombers collided with tanker planes, while others simply missed tankers and after inert fuel plunged into the sea. Between the late 50s and mid-60s, the most explosive part of the Cold War, US bombers carrying atomic bombs were in the air around the clock, 365 days a year.
Shavana,
Their four-man rotors passed
look at that guy.
over Greenland, Spain and the Mediterranean, Japan and Alaska. Only when the bombers became capable of flying across the Atlantic or Pacific on one tank did the frequency of accidents diminish.
It means you do extra damage.
Probably the most abundant broken arrow, and the American code word for incidents involving nuclear weapons, happened on December the 5th, 1965 on board the USS Tinksudavia, I don't know. Aircraft carrier, okay, so the US aircraft carrier was en route from Vietnam to Japan when a fighter bomber emerging from one giant elevator that carry the aircraft from the ship's hold onto the deck plunged into the ocean. Pilot, the aircraft and the nuclear bomb on board sank to a depth of 5 kilometers and were never found. The incident was also kept secret for many years, partly because when it was finally made public in 1981, it proved that the Americans had stationed nuclear weapons in Vietnam, after all. It also revealed that the United States had defied a treaty with Japan under which the Americans had agreed not to bring any nuclear weapons onto Japanese territory. So that sort of thing was kept secret for treaty reasons. Now, the next thing is talking about blown fuses. US military rather nonchalant handling of its most dangerous toys, not limited to foreign countries. In fact, 7 of the 11 nuclear warheads that are officially missing were lost at home. On the 5th of February 1958, bomber pilot Richard Carson, which talked about earlier, ditched his bomb, obviously, as I was saying earlier. What wasn't said is it was 12 miles from a city of 100,000, and he barely managed to land it at Hunter Army Airfield. Crew of it Kruger B-52 that exploded on January 24th, 1964 as a result of a fuel line was less fortunate. Before it broke apart, managed to eject the dangerous cargo. One of the 2 hydrogen bombs was parachuted safely into a tree. The other one went down into a swamp near the city of near a small city in North Carolina, where it plunged an estimated 50 meters into the marshy ground, and where it still lies today. The crash site remains a restricted military zone. But what made this incident famous was that the bomb landing in a tree. 5 of the 6 fuses designed to prevent a detonation failed, only the last one averting a nuclear explosion. After near Alaska, security systems and nuclear warhead were revised. Now, here the article talked about could terrorists find a bomb. To this day, these 2 incidents are hotly debated topic among experts, military officials, conspiracy theorists, and concerned civilians who are dealer bombs still pose a danger to the residents of these cities. Most that are not on the ocean floor are hardly likely to explode. However, it is said that perhaps the risk is somewhat greater than with the bombs that were lost on land. But virtually nothing is known about whether such bombs can explode spontaneously. This guy clearly doesn't know a lot, because they can't. They certainly shouldn't. And they can't, not unless the radioactive decay goes awry and causes a high amount of neutrons to be released, which is very unlikely and probably impossible. Completely different fear has taken hold since the terrorist attacks of September 11th, 2001, and of course London's 7/7 bombings, and Madrid. Now it's asking here if terrorists acquire one of the lost bombs. Now the guy that spoke before said, noting that even the military, after using all means at disposal, have failed to find or salvage the bombs. Quite a few weapons are located in places that are still completely inaccessible with the means available to us today. The real danger lie in the area surrounding the crash site, and may include the possibility of an explosion at the time of the accident and the effects of corrosion, which could allow radioactivity to escape over decades. Decades is a bit short. Thousands of years is more realistic. Now, yeah. In 2004, 2 pits containing radioactive soil were discovered at the site of a future golf course and luxury hotel. Extensive soil studies revealed that other areas were still contaminated. The Spanish government has said the affected land and confiscated the affected land in 2009. US troops, it says here, will be deployed to decontaminate the area once again, more than 40 years after the bombs first fell in Spain. Now, I'm just going to double check the half-life of uranium, but I'm pretty sure it's millions of years. Oh, here we go. With half-lives of the 6 naturally known isotopes, uranium-233 to uranium-238, varying between 69 years and 4.5 billion years. Now, most are close to the 4.5 billion years zone for uranium. Now, plutonium. Which is even harder to spell. Plutonium is generally used in is a byproduct. Here we go. The most stable isotopes of it have a half-life of about 80 million years, which is says here just long enough for the element to be found trace quantities in nature. Obviously, because certain things are old enough for that now. Now, yes, the isotope plutonium-239 is a key component in nuclear weapons, and because of its ease of fission. Fission is what nuclear reactors use. It's the splitting of atoms into two others. So uranium is split into 2 more stable atoms, which then may split into 4 more stable atoms, depending on what it turns into. Now, fission is actually about it's the furthest you can get away from iron. Iron is the most stable atom. So anything below it wants to fuse to get up. Anything above it wants to fission to get down. So for fusion reactors, you use 2 isotopes of hydrogen to go up. So you go, it's the furthest you can get away from iron down the table, and you use uranium because it's not the furthest. It's not the furthest away from iron, but it's the furthest away which is in high enough quantities to make it viable. So you use that. Now, you may be worried now about nuclear issues. Now, near where I live, and you can do this for yourself. If you go into Google Maps and put in Edge Hill, I believe. No, hang on, I'll find it. It's easier to find it. Now, map, Earth mode. Now, if you go to Leamington Spa, you head Gaydon, Kyneton. Now, Kyneton's where you want to be. Now, where is it? Here we go. That's it, isn't it? Can't quite work it out.
This is why you helped. Look, we've got 2 inhibitors now. Because you
Yeah, that looks about right. Now Kyneton is home to a fairly large military base. No, you won't see any soldiers. Well, you might do actually, but you certainly won't be. You won't see many. That is for one very good reason. It's an ammo dump. Now, maybe asking how I know this. One, it's quite well known. That's what it is. 2, looking from above, a very large railway depot, or depot if you're not American, which crosses the road at many points, so you can actually physically see. The main giveaway, though, is if you look from Google Maps, there's a set of rogues, which are very nicely named for us, with sort of like weird raised boxes. Now you can't actually get a Google car in that, obviously. Now these are ammo bunkers. We actually used to, where I'm not sure whether we still do, used to keep some of our nuclear warheads at Kyneton. If you go to Edge Hill, there's a lovely nice pub there. This is actually the first battle of the English Civil War. There's a nice pub there. You sit out, you can actually see quite clearly onto the ammo dumps. There are several areas, and there are a couple of places. It's quite a big place. Now, it's actually quite near the Heritage Museum and the JLR site and the Aston Martin site at Gaydon. If you go past Gaydon, a bit further along, there is a set of houses, and behind those houses, you can't see it necessarily from the road, there are a set of houses. Actually, if you go past the houses, if you're going away from Gaydon, there's a sort of a B road that comes off, a sort of a small road off Gabi 4100. So a lovely road if you've got a nice fast car. Some lovely sweeping bangs, but you can sometimes see it from there. Now, so yeah, we used to keep some of our nuclear weapons there. Now, one place I was going to talk about was long masking. Now, you may have heard long masking if you're from around Warwickshire area. Now, long masking is quite a funny place. I'm not saying that because, well, where it is, although that does sort of play a part. Now, long masking has it's quite famous for having an airfield, although no planes fly from there anymore. It has a very good drag strip now. Not that it's used very often. Sometimes a market there, which is averagely good. It's quite an interesting place actually. If you drive past, it's got a water bomber in the sort of entrance, and some lovely old planes were out. Unfortunately, they're not doing a lot anymore, which is a big shame, really. It's a shame to see old planes disappear. But long masking was mainly used during the Second World War for as a dummy. If you
read your abilities,
you search long masking and go on to it was if you go onto the wiki, it was a Royal Air Force base between 41 and 54. It's about 3 miles from Stratford-upon-Avon. Now, if you look history, it was previously RAF long masking. Now, had 2 hangars and 1 this is all a bit it had two T2 hangars and 1 B1 hangar. The airfield got a mixture of 27 Pang dispensers and who used to dispense the aircraft around the field in case of enemy attacking or incidents could wreck multiple aircraft if bunched together. This was connected to the regular 3 runway layout in a sort of triangle formation. Now, it had the number 24 operational training unit, used Wellingtons and 2 other training aircraft. Now, RAF Honeyborn it was a satellite of RAF Honeyborn. Honeyborn used to have a night fighter squad, a night bomber. RAF Honeyborn before the unit closed in 45. Another unit to use the airfield was Hawk Hurricanes and Tomahawks. Simulated attacks against training unit. The main base was RAF Pershore, with long masking used as satellite between 43 and 44. After the war, the airfield began to wind down, with training flights becoming less frequent, and soon after it was under the control of number 3 maintenance group. Now, Throckmorton is the Pershore airfield that it talks about. Now, at the back of Throckmorton airfield is a very large tip where they actually tipped well, he tipped a lot of the carcasses of animals with swine flu when that was a big issue. Now RAF Pershore during the war was home to the tactical training unit with Wellington bombers. The airfield was then home to a 30 unit advanced flying school, Royal Radar Establishment, and it is said to have one of the longest runways in the UK. This is actually incorrect. It's 6,000 feet, which isn't actually that long. It is still in commission and is allegedly used for training purposes by special forces and police, although that is citation needed. That is unlikely. Nothing goes on in that area near Pershore. I know. Now, plans have been brought forward. Development site that was used as a burial ground for carcasses over 100,000 animals infected with foot and mouth. Sorry, not swine flu. It was suggested it was used as a prison camp for the overcrowding issue. It was also proposed for an eco-town. It's also proposal for illegal immigrant reception centre for illegal immigrants. It was campaigned against successfully, which is not a bad thing. The airfield was used as a site for Vulcan bombers. Now, I've been onto the runway. The Caterham 7 Club had a day there. It was like £20 or something to go, and you could like a couple of auto test tracks set up. This runway is huge. Now, personally, I'm being on many runways, but it's all concrete blocks. And the Vulcan bomber, quite big. There's one at Bangton Airport in a museum, and there's also one at Wellesbourne Airport, which every year does a runway, does a run down runway because it's not airworthy. I think why they haven't used the money from the day, because if you go to that you pay, I don't know, a tenner or so to try and get it airworthy, but apparently not. Now, it's quite big. It's not very flat. That's certainly sure. It's very straight, but it sort of dips down and back up, which is weird for a runway. But the Vulcan bomber suggests while there are quite large hangars, very large hangars there, which is interesting, to say the least. They're very big. I do believe there are some driving schools that use it still. There were plenty of classic car meets and car meetings. Caterham 7, for example. There were plenty of quite a lot that goes on. It's in a three runways with a very small triangle in the middle, with them crossing over the top. Now, one of the end of the runways has been intercepted by a road.
Kill the minions. Kill those ones.
and I think the other one has as well. One of the other ones has. Now the control tower is still there because of there was a air show there every year for Help for Heroes recently. Has gone to being a Help for Heroes air show, which is very good. Apparently, I haven't had the chance to go and see it. Now, so yeah, I think I'm gonna leave the video sort of here. It's quite long, I believe now. Yeah, I guess gone past 45 minutes. So thanks for watching. I hope you found this very interesting. Like to see some of the more of these. Leave a comment below with ideas. Try and keep it on a sort of a military-esque theme, although nuclear power or something like that. Anything sort of that basic is perfectly okay. Maybe modelling, or I don't know, whatever you feel would be good. Put it down in comments. I'm going to say that on the last one. But that would be rather appreciating. It'd be nice to see what you lot want. Now, oh, if you want to have a look at the Caterham Day stuff, go on to the Caterham Cars website and go onto news, and then if you scroll down on their news thing, there'll be a thing about the CEO's column, and then sort of not quite halfway down there'll be a picture of a bright blue with an orange stripe 620R from the Caterham Experience, doing a very nice power slide on the runway, and I think there are some other bits and bobs around that as well. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and